I acquired these three woods recently from that period that I keep reminding people is shamefully ignored, and that being the 1930s, the early steel shaft era. I've been after some of these for quite a while. They don't look a lot at first glance. We've got a white painted finish with a cross hatching on the face there. Short length of whipping and a ferrule and a white band there, and it's a plain shaft, it's not stepped. There is a very faint image of a shaft label there, which I've looked at closely but I can't make out what it is, and then we've got a leather grip on them. But I started looking into the history of the clubs, and once you start doing that you find yourself going down the rabbit hole. So I thought it'd be worthwhile, because I don't think I'll ever play these clubs. They're probably best kept as they are, but I thought it'd be interesting just to do a video just about these clubs and what we can find out about a set of clubs. Now, the reason I've been searching for these for quite a while is on the sole plate we can see that, let me get that the right way round so that it can be read properly. So on the sole plate of the driver we've got a large brass D there, and if we look at the other ones, on the sole plate of this one we've got a B for brassie, and the final one we've got an S for spoon. These clubs were produced by Gibson, I'm pretty sure of that. Just bring up here a link to a auction sale at Mullock's Auctioneers for a set of Gibson clubs. And that includes the Gibson 250 woods, which have the same DBS sole plate. And it also gives a patent number on there, 450755. Now, I've gone into the internet and dug around for this, and I found the patent here, which was awarded in 1936, it looks like. The first patent application appears to have been made in 1934. And it's interesting to know that this was made by Margaret Cochrane, care of Gibsons of Kinghorn. Now, Cochranes were a large golf ball and golf club manufacturer who seemed to disappear from the directories, according to the website Antique Golf Scotland, around about 1930. So it makes me wonder whether Gibson's acquired the Cochrane company and Margaret came across with them, and she was involved with the patent application for these clubs. If we look on the sole of these ones, we can see that it says patent applied for. So that would suggest that these were made between 1934, when the original patent application was made, and 1936, when it was awarded. So I'm going to assume that that's the case for these. They are somewhere between 1934 and 1936, which ties in well with the style of the clubs, the shafts and everything about them, really. Let's have a look at the crown of the club. On the crown of the driver there, and we can see the name Edward W. Jarman Special. Ted Jarman was a professional golfer who had most of his success in the 1930s. He twice won the prestigious Leeds Cup, which I believe is the oldest professional trophy still played for. His best result in the Open was tied 13 in 1934, and he was part of the 1935 Ryder Cup team, which went to America. Unfortunately, the team didn't do very well. Poor old Ted Jarman did even worse. He was chosen to play in the foursomes with Bill Cox. Jarman and Cox lost their foursomes match by 9-8 to Paul Runyon and Horton Smith. And Ted Jarman wasn't chosen to play in the singles, so his Ryder Cup record is not one to be envied. But as Ted said back in an interview that he made some time after that, the Ryder Cup wasn't the spectacle that it is today. He began his professional career as an assistant professional at Stockport Golf Club before becoming professional at Prenton in 1928. And as far as I can tell, he left there around 1930, and he joined West Lancs in 1936, which leaves us a gap of 6 years, and I've not been able to find where he went in that time, or whether the 1930 is the correct date for him leaving Prenton, although one of his brothers did join Prenton as professional around about that time. So I think it is correct. So these clubs, I would guess, were either made just before he joined West Lancs or just after he joined West Lancs. Although if he had been there, I would have thought he would have had West Lancs on the crown there. So maybe he was continuing as a club maker while he wasn't attached to a club, as all we've got is his name and special. There isn't any mention of Gibson on these heads, which is a bit of a pity, but there is a clue that ties them into Gibsons, and that can be found on the grips. If I can find a good one, let me just have a look. There we go. We'll have a look at the spoon. That's probably had the least play. If I can get this into focus, it reads the original. And then we've got here Kinghorn Tacky Grip. And Kinghorn is where Gibsons were based. So I'm pretty confident in saying that this would be the original leather grip that came with the clubs, which is remarkable really when you think how old these are, that they've still got the original grip. And a very nice piece of decoration with the whipping there. We've got the threading, and then it stretches out and then tightens up again, so we've got that little twist there. I've had a go at doing this myself, and I find it very difficult to get it to stay in position. It seems to want to become loose again, so I'm not sure how they actually achieved that. I think that about covers all the details on the clubs now. One interesting point is the slip plates here. Even though the brass letter sole plate comes to the front of the club, they're still featuring the bone slip plate at the base there. Same on the brassie and the same on the driver. So let's have a quick look at all the soles together. I'll spin that round so you can see them better. So driver, brassie and spoon. Put those back there. I think I've covered all the information that I looked up now. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.